off, the image of being a little child and yelling out, on those mountain climbing things and hearing the echo come back to you. I think it's a confirmative sound. I also think it's reflective. And then I've got the word reverberation. I did a little cheating and went on YouTube and printed out their lyrics, just to see where the author, the composer of that music went. And I think they showed a little slice of life that represents what most people experience at some point, whether it be fear, a loss of hope, a loss of faith. And in all of that, later down in the lyrics, the author wrote, "In every season you keep repeating promises to me. There's no stopping what you have what you have started until it is completed." And I think that's where the echo comes back. It's repeating and coming back, like an echo comes back to us with a confirmation voice, and something that's comforting that we know and we've heard before as a person who's living a God-filled, Christ-filled life. First off, I would say, if you have entered into a commitment with God, things are going to change in your life. You're not going to be the same person that you were before. And I think a perfect biblical story that goes with that is the example that Christ set when he washed the feet of his apostles. When I think of everything that goes into the image of a foot, as a theater director, we look at the visual and the physicality, and feet are not often the most pleasant thing. And to have the Son of God, literally get down and to wash that and to serve others, I think that's probably a very good place to start as to how we should be serving others in the community. And I guess that brings me to where Orange Barrel started, using that verse, Matthew 5:16. It says, let your light shine so that others will see your good works and that God will get the glory for that. And so based on that, we started a theater troupe back in 2000, so that's 20 years ago. And I have to tell you, it was a selfish desire at first. It wasn't serving others, it was serving self. I had kids that wanted to be part of theater. There wasn't anything family friendly for them around at the time, so it's like, well, then we'll just have to start our own. So I was homeschooling, and we started with the homeschool community. It started as Central Ohio Drama Club back in the day. And after a few years, something started to check my spirit, and we know what that was. And I had to really examine what was my motivation and what I was doing. I was very safe in my little cocoon with my homeschooling friends that shared same convictions and things, and my kids likewise with their friends. But was I really being the light that Matthew talks about? That song, "This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine." Hide it under a bushel? No. And I was purposely hiding what the gift that God had given me and the creation of this little theater group under a bushel. And so we talked to our board, and our board said, take the bushel off. And off it went, and we went and became a public nonprofit under education. And God has blessed us ever since that move.
And how do you see Christ's love echoed in others?
I have a word written here on my cheat sheet. It says selflessness. That is not much that you don't hear too much of that in mainstream media coming from the world these days. There are a lot of me. It's all about me. And if you've got that relationship with God, that's just not going to work out. It has to be about others. There has to be purpose behind what we do besides serving self. So I see it in people that give of their time, people that give of their talents, someone who opens the door, someone who smiles at you, takes the time to show that it's not about them, but it's about being there for others. I turned 55 this year, so definitely not in the spring chicken category, and I do have the gray hair, but it's not fully gray yet. But in 55 years, there have been a lot of lessons that the Lord has needed to show me. I was raised in a Christian home. My dad was an independent Baptist preacher. Then when I came out of that upbringing and started my early adult life, I was a very legalistic, a bashing, and I have one other word, haughty. I had all of those in my approach to life. So it wasn't like, let me share my faith. It was let me beat you with my Bible type thing. So God had a lot of revealing to do, a lot of sanding to hone all of that off. And through it, I found that he has been infinitely patient with me. So through the working through me and the creation of Orange Barrel, that was a gift from God. In the end, I didn't know that. I thought it was just something I was doing. Don't we often think it's within our own power, and then we realize, oh God, you gave that to me, thank you. But I am now able to take those gifts that God gave to me, the softening that God has allowed me to see through my previous faults, and work with the people that come to me through Orange Barrel. And that's quite a gift to have that purpose in life.